Hello, parents. Now, I just wanted to give you a little idea of what an online lesson would be like for your children, because I know it's quite hard to imagine how this could actually work so well. I'm doing it with quite a few pupils at the minute, and it is working just as well as it would in person. And it's a lot more economical to use the online lessons. They're very useful for transfer tests, but it can be used for anything at all. So I'm just going to give you an example now of how I would work through. It will be a GL. I'll work from one of my GL lessons, but remember that's also applicable to AQE. What you're seeing at the minute is a recording of what I'm doing, so it wouldn't be the full quality that the child will see on the screen. It would be slightly better quality than this, plus it would be a full screen. And what you would need is preferably a laptop or desktop computer so that they can get the full size of the screen and good sound. But a tablet works equally as well, as long as the tablet has a stand, because you don't want to have your child having to hold the tablet and then set it down to write and then lift it up again, that sort of thing. As I go into this, you'll understand better what I mean. Now, the thing that I'm going to do here is called sharing the screen. So I'm speaking into my laptop at the minute, and I'm going to share the screen onto my iPad. And this is the very clever thing about this app. The app is called Zoom US or Zoomtopia. It has two names. It's just changed its name at the minute, so you could get one of two names. And what we do here is I connect it in with my iPad, and then I can bring up things that I have on my iPad for your child. So here, this is an example of a GL test. Okay, so I just want to go first of all into the books that I'm selling at the minute and the videos that are GL test success by strategy, these books. And there's also AQE test by strategy. You can buy just those booklets by themselves along with videos. But then the advantage would be that you could buy the book with the video and then maybe book an online lesson with me where I can work through the books with your child. And we could, I can then check up on what they're doing, that sort of thing. So here we are. So this is what your child will see. Today I learned the importance of the SAFE-CQC check for GL punctuation mistakes. And then I will go through with them what SAFE-CQC stands for. That's something that's just unique to Antrim Tutoring and that's very successful in helping children with punctuation mistake page in the GL test. And I have set something the same for spelling, and I also have it for AQE as well. So we would go through this, then I can take them to an example of what it will look like in their test. So this is an example of the punctuation page. And I can work through that. You see that it says in this passage there are some mistakes with capital letters and whatever. So I can work through guiding the child with the mouse along each line. And we can look for the mistakes by applying the acronym that I've taught them, the SAFE-CQC. They could also have copies of these tests posted out to the house. And then they could have an actual paper copy, or I could email you a copy and you can print them off. They could have a paper copy of what we're doing as well. But as I say, it doesn't necessarily need to be a paper copy, because here I've got all of the tests that they need to practice and all of the things that they need to go through. There's an example of the GL general section, the final page. This is the final page. Final page in the GL English has 5 marks. That punctuation page that we were on has 8 marks, and the spelling page then, there's a spelling page that's worth 10 marks. So altogether, those 3 things, and it is possible with my acronyms in the little booklets that I have for sale, that children can get full marks in those 3 things, and it's worth over 30%, so it's really worthwhile thinking about. It just means that if they have the acronyms learned and they have some practice with me of applying them, and they know they're going into that test with almost 30%, almost guaranteed for themselves. That's a big, big, big step up from just going blindly into an English test. English can be quite hard to revise for. I mean, you just never know what's going to come up in comprehension. Comprehension could be something they've never heard of before in their lives, and there's no way of supporting them or preparing them for it. All we can do is make sure that they're good readers, that they have ways of decoding the questions and things like that. But the punctuation, the spelling page and the final page can actually be taught very, very specifically. And I have been doing that for a number of years now, and it has led to a lot of success with a lot of children. So that's the thing that's worth thinking about. And as you see, so here, this is an example of the spelling mistake page. And we would work through, and then I have 18 tests on there, so I go through all the different examples over a number of lessons with them. And as I said, the same for AQE. I've also got revision booklets that could be posted out to the house that you could complete, children could complete and work with me online, or any of the other tests that they need. So it was just to give you an idea, that's the kind of thing that we can do. So you can see that the child can see the question. I know what the child is saying. They know what I'm reading out to them, and we can work through it together. And then whenever it comes to things, like say if it comes to things in maths, maybe with the need to actually work something out, I've got a whiteboard here beside me. I can just write the things out here. We can work out percentages, fractions, whatever we need to do. I can do it all here. Your child can copy this onto their page, show it to me. I can check by looking in the camera that they've got it right. It really is a good system, and it works very well. And it's, as I said, it's more economical than the one-to-one lessons. Really, at the minute, one-to-one lessons are impossible. There just isn't space for those. There will be for some of my own pupils, but these are pupils who've been with me for almost a year now, some of them for longer than a year. Would have the option of one-to-one. The rest would be this kind of thing online. And you don't have to do it every single week. You could just say, maybe I want 2 or 3 booster lessons from now before they start back to school, or a couple of lessons during September and October to give them a bit of boost and support while they're preparing for the test. It's just, I'm in the comfort of my own house able to do it. They're in the comfort of their own house. You don't need to clean the house or worry about what the other kids are doing or worry about visitors coming or anything like that, as long as the child has a quiet place to go with, as I said, preferably a desktop or laptop, but a tablet is also quite okay. I would send you an email. It gives you the time that the lesson will take place, and you just click into that, download the app, and we're ready to go. It's very, very simple, very easy. Even for those who aren't technology minded, it's still quite easy. And if there's any terrible problems with it and you live close enough, I can come out to the house and sort it out and help you set it up anyway. So if you are interested in those, it's £25 for 45 minutes. And if you book 4, you can get 4 for £90 then, so you save a little bit that way. So that's just to give you an idea. If you feel you don't need any online lessons but would be interested in ordering the books and the videos to go with the books, certainly just send me a wee message for those. I have a whole success pack that has the GL or AQE success by strategy booklets, and the video comes with them. And then there's other booklets on place value and decimals, fractions, adverbs and adjectives, picking apart a passage, and you get access to the online lesson. This is that would be a separate online pre-recorded lesson for picking apart a passage that will help them with comprehensions. And you get all that for £27. So that's another way of looking at it. That's just a one-off £27. And there's a lot of support there, you know. So there's definitely lots of options. It's definitely time to think about it. Once they go back to school and they start meeting up with their friends and the teacher starts to pile on, the pressure, the panic rises, you start to panic yourself. And I mean, I've been through this so many times. There's some parents that don't panic, some children that don't panic, but the majority do. And it's just one of those horrible times. Before you know it, you're going to be in November and it'll be Saturday morning, you'll be driving your child to the test. You know, so do think about that now. They've had their summer holiday. It's important to have a good balance. It's important that they're not exhausted when they go back to school by having a lot of heavy tuition. There is no point in that whatsoever. I really, really feel very strongly about that they shouldn't be heavily tutored, certainly not at this stage. Long-term tutoring can work for the transfer test, but to try and cram it all in now at this stage and look for success isn't usually possible unless the child is very, very capable and just needs to fine tune a few things, you know. So any queries or anything that you need, maybe if you just want to discuss with me where you think your child is at and things like that, I can certainly answer those questions. You can PM me or put them up on the page, and then they'll be open for discussion with all other parents as well, you know. So there is support here, and there are things that we can do. There's definitely things to match all the different price ranges, and I just hope this has given you an idea of what the online lesson could look like. Would be the online lesson by video link, and if you think that that's something that would be useful for you, you can get in touch. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.